The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
And hello, everybody. Welcome into a wonderful Thursday episode of Running Point. Looking out the window, sun is shining. It's beautiful outside. We hope you're enjoying really the first official week that everyone is off. I think last week, the last schools of the area let out. So the first full week that everyone in high school is done. We hope you're enjoying it. It's a beautiful weather week. And it's been shining big on Class B baseball, which was what we've been talking about a lot. We'll continue to talk about that today. We have 18U to recap. 18U action last night at Bob Scene Park. Exciting 18U action. When you look at the scores, there was a lot of good baseball last night as it's starting to heat up in Class B. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right to it. Pop up the Class B website and see what we got going on. All right, so here are the games for last night in 18U. We're going to start at the top and work our way down like we do every day. First game of the night was a 8-4 win by Ballistic. Here's how it went down. Ballistic with 3 runs in the first 3 innings to go up 3-0, but Eagleware comes back and has a 4 spot in the top of the 5th, takes the 4-3 lead. Ballistic ties it up, and then 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th give them enough separation to win 8-4. Final tallies: 8 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for Ballistic. 4 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for Nightline. We look at the Ballistic lineup and the way it looked. A pair of RBIs on a perfect day at the plate for Boyd Karutz, who went 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored, 2 walks, 2 RBIs, so he was never retired. 1 for 2 day for Sam Patton. He had 2 RBI as well. 2 walks on the day for him. An RBI from Hunter Wilson, who went 1 for 2 with a walk as well. He had an RBI on a 2-walk day from Gabe Rusnak. Also RBI from Nick Cipriano, who went 1 for 3 with a walk as well. Perfect day at the plate for Jake Stashko, who went 1 for 1 with 2 walks and 2 runs scored. You look at the pitching, it was Carter Wilson that got the start. 4 in the 3rd innings for him. Didn't give up the 4 runs, but just 3 hits, struck out 10. Tyler Wright got the win. He went 1 2/3. No runs on 2 hits, struck out 3 for the Ballistic pitching. We look at Eagleware's offense. They had a 2 RBI day from Luke Julian, who went 1 for 3 with a run scored. You had an RBI on a 2-hit day from Sam Owens as well. He went 2 for 4. They also got an RBI from Shane Sodergren, who went hitless but got the RBI. We'll go to the next game as Ballistic once again used that big 4-run 6 to separate from Eagleware and win 8-4. Our next game saw the 3B Barons double up Dura Edge 10-5, the final score in this one. We look how it went down. The 3B Barons were down 2-0 after one. In fact, it stayed that way all the way up until the fifth, when they were actually down 5-0 going into the fifth. But they score 7 runs in the fifth inning, a big frame for them there. Add 3 more in the sixth, and they get the 10-5 victory over Dura Edge. So they come back from a 5-0 deficit and still able to double up Dura Edge. 10 runs on 10 hits, 1 error for the Barons. 5 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for Dura Edge. When you look at the Barons offense, here's how it laid out. A 3 RBI day from Luke Anderton, who went 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. They had 2 RBIs from Brady McGuire. He went 1 for 3 on the day. Another RBI from Colby McGuire. He went 2 for 3 on the day with 2 runs scored. He had an RBI from Zyler Friedman, who went 1 for 3 with a run scored for the Barons. And then last but not least, Ben Miller had the RBI on a 1 for 4 day for them. He also had a 1 for 4 day from Chase Baran with a run scored, and a 1 for 2 day with a run scored from Tommy Caroli. He also had a walk. Look at the pitching staff. It was 2 pitchers that broke up the 7 innings. Getting the win was Mike Del Duca, who went 4 innings. Gave up the 4 runs. 4 of them earned, 9 hits, 1 strikeout. And then pitching 3 innings was Joey Campoli, who went those 3 innings, gave up no runs, 1 hit, struck out 5, walked 0. So a good appearance for him. We look at the Dura Edge batters, who did a good job in the early part of the game to get a 5-0 lead. They had an RBI on a 2 for 4 day from Blake Jeffries. Also, Drew Cockler got an RBI on a walk. He had an RBI from Parker Dobson, who went 1 for 3 with a run scored. Just 3 RBIs on the day for Dura Edge out of their 5 runs scored. That fifth inning, we've seen it in both these games so far. Big, crooked innings being the difference for both the Barons and Ballistic Baseball. We go on to the next game on the schedule, and it was Creekside edging out Prospects 7-6. The final score here. A great baseball game. Let's see how it broke down. Creekside gets the 2-run lead in the first, extends it in the top of the second to 3-0, but then Prospects take the 4-3 lead. Creekside ties it up in the third with a run, and then takes the 1-run lead in the top of the fifth with a run. But once again, Prospects answer with 2 in the bottom to take the lead right back. But then 2 runs in the top of the sixth are the ones that did the final blow for Creekside. 7-6. They get the win. Final tally for Creekside in this game: 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Final tally for Prospects: 6 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Very clean baseball. No errors in this game on either side. We look at the Creekside hitters, and it went like this. A couple of hitters with 2 RBIs days. Frank Sinadak went 2 for 3, 2 RBI, 2 runs scored, 1 walk. 2 for 4 day for John Husband, who went with 2 RBI. And then he had 2 RBIs from Aiden Crocier, who went 1 for 3 with 2 RBI as well. And those were the 6 RBI of the day for the whole Creekside offense. 3 walks drawn and a run scored, though, for Wyatt Burkle. He had a good day. And they drew 7 walks as a team. 1 for 1 on the day was Emmett Flisky with 2 walks and a run scored. And then a 1 for 2 day for Dom Ryan with a run scored as well. We go into the hitting for the Prospects. And they had RBIs, 2 of them, the only double RBI day on the lineup from Ethan Powell. He went 2 walks and 2 RBIs, 1 run scored. They had an RBI from Evan Tuttle, who went 1 for 2 with a run scored and a walk. RBI on a multiple hit day from Dominic Santee, who continues his impressive season. I talked about it with Matt Barr on Tuesday. Every time we're writing the prospect story, it seems like Santee pops up into it. So another big day for him. 2 for 3, 2 runs scored, and the RBI. They also had some RBIs from the bottom of this order in Reggie Danko, who went with a walk and an RBI, and then Trainer Janasco went 1 for 3 with an RBI as well. Creekside gets the 1-run victory thanks to a 2-run 6th inning, giving them their final lead. Next, we go to the Astro Falcons, who got the win again last night, but they had a fight from Nightline. It was 5-3. The Astro Falcons pulled it out. Let's take a look at the box score here and how it went down. Falcons get the 1-0 lead after 1. It stays that way until the top of the 3rd, when Nightline ties up the game 1-1. And then at the top of the 4th, Nightline actually took a 3-1 lead. But then the Astro Falcons answer with 4 runs in the bottom half of the inning, and they win 5-3. Nightline out-hit the Astro Falcons, though. 3 runs on 7 hits, 1 error. 5 runs on 4 hits, 1 error for the Falcons. We'll look at this lineup and see how they did the damage that they had to do just to win. Creed Erdos went 1 for 2 with an RBI. They had an RBI on a perfect day at the plate from Maddox Tarquino, who went 1 for 1 with 2 walks and a run scored and the RBI. They had 2 RBIs from Sal Mineo, who went 1 for 3 with a run scored. Also an RBI on a hitless day for Andres Herkmans, making the most out of his opportunities and doing his job. Pitching for the Astro Falcons, getting the win, was Jacob Hayes. He went 4 innings, gave up 1 run on 4 hits, struck out 4. David Posey went 3 innings, gave up 1 run on 3 hits. He struck out 5, 9 total strikeouts for the Astro Falcons pitching staff. Let's go to the Nightline hitters, see what they were able to do against this Astro Falcons pitching staff. 1 RBI on a 2 for 2 day for Taggart Carfangia. He had a walk as well, so he was perfect on the day. Never retired. That's always good. And an RBI from Grady Moore. He didn't get a hit, but he did his job and knocked in a run. A 2-hit day for Nolan Darr. He went 2 for 3. And then Santino Cambati went 1 for 2 with a run scored. The other tough luck loss went to Austin Biggin, who went 3 2/3, gave up the 5 runs, 4 hits, struck out 2 for the Nightline pitching staff. We go to the next one. Athletics getting the win over the Avalanche 7-1. We talked about how hard this Avalanche offense can be to pitch to, and it looked impressive from the Athletics standpoint with the 1 run given up. The Athletics scored 1 run in the 1st. They tacked on 1 run in the 5th. This was a pitcher's duel for a long time, and it went to 2-1 in the top of the 6th. But then what's the theme of last night? We've talked about it a couple of times already in the first few games we've recapped. The theme is crooked innings, and the Athletics put up a 5 spot in the bottom of the 6th, and that was all they needed to pull away and win 7-1. Final tallies. Avalanche actually out-hit Athletics. 1 run on 8 hits, 1 error. Athletics had 7 runs, 7 hits, no errors on the day on their tally. You look at the Athletics offense. Some of the big contributors for them, they had an RBI from Tyler Kurlik, who went 1 for 2. Had an RBI on a 1 for 3 day from Paul Gubba. 3 RBI day from Anthony Treveri. He had 1 hit, but it was a big one. The 3 RBIs gotten on the 1 for 3 day. RBI and a walk from Evan Tice. And an RBI and a run scored from Caleb Satterfield. You also had Alex Salima, who went 1 for 2 with a walk and 2 runs scored. Pitching the complete game for Athletics was Ethan Culbertson. He went all 7 innings for Athletics, gave up just 1 earned run, 8 hits, struck out 5, walked 1, so he had a good day navigating some hits that he gave up, but never allowing too many base runners to score. In fact, just one base runner. One RBI on the day from Avalanche, and it came from Drew Galt. No shocker there. 1 for 3 on the day for him. Also had a 1 for 3 day from Nick Solderich, who went that 1 for 3 with a run scored. Perfect day at the plate from Carter Del Julia, who went 2 for 2 with a walk. He was never retired. 1 for 3 day for Noah Filson as well for the Avalanche. Taking the loss was Filson. He went 5 2/3, gave up the 7 runs on 6 hits, struck out 11 though, and walked 2. That's back-to-back days in 18U where we've seen the Astro Falcons strikeouts elevated but still winning games. So as a coaching staff for the Falcons, you got to think they got to be thinking, okay, we're surviving our strikeout numbers being higher than usual, but let's try to clean that up a bit because law of averages are going to come back to bite us. And they had a fight on their hands. I'm sorry, I'm talking about the last game. My mind just melted a little bit. A lot of baseball to talk about. Athletics struck out 11 times. Astro Falcons for the game that we talked about last time. You look at those stats, though, for the Avalanche, and you think, well, they were at least in the game. I mean, they had 8 hits, struck out 11 batters, just 1 error. You think, okay, they're in the game. Sometimes baseball doesn't work that way, though. So that'll do it for your scoreboard from 18U last night. Now that we've recapped everything, why don't we take a look at the standings and see what we have in store now. The Astro Falcons still in the lead, a 10-1 record. They take that share of the lead, though, with Athletics, who once again just different amount of games played, 11-2 for them. The winning percentage actually goes to the Astro Falcons, so they are technically in first, even though they're not any games ahead. A 909 winning percentage for Astro and an 846 winning percentage for the Athletics. The 3B Barons are right behind. They're a half game back with a 10-2 record. You have 8-5 Creekside sitting in fourth. Avalanche comes after that, 7-6. Dura Ed 6-7. Ballistic 6-8. Nightline 3-10. Prospects 3-10. And Eagleware still looking for that first win of the year, 0-12. 18U will be back in action on Friday at Bob Sean Park. Tonight, though, it is going to be 16U's turn. Let's take a look at the game schedule for tonight, what you have in store for yourselves at Bob Sean Park. At 5:30, we have the 3B Barons on Scene 1 taking on Nightline, and then at 5:30 as well, we have A to Z Athletics taking on Creekside. Also at 5:30, we have the Astro Falcons playing Prospects on Scene 3. Back to Scene 1 at 8 o'clock, you have Eagleware taking on Ballistic, and then at 8 o'clock on Scene 3, you have Avalanche taking on the Athletics. That'll be at 16U tonight on June 13th. Missing Friday the 13th by 1 day. Don't have to worry about any bad luck happening tonight for these baseball teams, at least. Let's check the spreadsheet and see what games will be on the network tonight from Bob Sean Park. Matt Maher will be on Scene 1. He'll have you covered for the Barons and Nightline at 5:30, and Eagleware and Ballistic at 8. We have video only from Scene 3, so the Astro Falcons and Prospects and Avalanche and Athletics will both be video only. Eric Hughes has you covered on Scene 2 for Creekside and A to Z Athletics at 5:30. So all those games will be on the network. Also, the Mahoning Valley Scrappers looking for the sweep as they play State College tonight at 7 o'clock. Ty Bartell will be on the call from Eastwood Field, so make sure to check that out as well. The Scrappers are still playing really well at home. We talked about it with Scotty Mincher yesterday, how well they're playing at home right now. They've only had one loss at Eastwood Field so far. They're looking to sweep State College and keep that streak alive. They got above 500 2 nights ago. Last night they got another win, so they're streaking in the right direction, especially in this homestand. And that's always good to see from the Mahoning Valley Scrappers. Check them out tonight. Once again, 7 o'clock first pitch, ysnlive.com/live. Ty Bartell will be on the call. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we have more Running Point for you on ysnlive.com, brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoning County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means we want to take care of the community that takes care of us too.
And we have to work together always. And that's how you stay in business for 40 years.
You know, I love being a helper because when I help somebody, it makes me feel good.
It means a lot that I can make a difference in others' lives.
So I will do everything I can and just being there for them every step of the way.
I want them to know within the first 5 minutes that they could depend on me. That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Now you can see every school, to the smallest school, to the intermediate schools, to the schools in the outlying areas. It gives you coverage that you could just never get to before. It's something that's great to experience, and it's opened up a whole new wave of sports viewership. The possibilities are endless here at YSN. Push the envelope every day. Try something new. If it works, great. If it doesn't, well, let's try another angle, and we just keep moving forward. My name is Mike Ackelson, and my sports network is your sports network.
What can you do on over 5,000 acres? At Mill Creek Metro Parks, you can discover unique habitats and wildlife, create memorable family moments, experience history, heritage, and park programs, explore scenic landscapes, take time to relax and be well, connect with nature and each other. Come see what's new at Mill Creek Metro Parks. Plan your trip now at millcreekmetroparks.org.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means taking care of our local customers.
And it's just a great feeling to put them in a vehicle and get them all excited about a new vehicle.
At the end of the day, our goal is to be someone our customers can count on.
And every day I'll go the extra mile for the community so they can trust us.
To do anything that would convenience the customer or make them feel more at home.
Realizing, number one, that we're here for them and that we're not going to go away.
That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Welcome back to Running Point, brought to you by the guys you just heard from, Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day. We follow their lead because they're great sponsors, and we thank them for their constant belief in what this show can be and everything that we do here at YSN. We're going to continue to catch up on player profiles today. We have some that we just couldn't get to before the end of the spring season because we had so many player profiles go up on the website this year. Want to make sure that they all get promoted on the show. So we're going to go back to the backlog a little bit and have another one today from South Range Softball. We had Ashley Rupert featured on Tuesday. Today we will feature Addison Wardle. We got this in the week leading up to state, so there was so much hoopla going on the show that week. We couldn't fit every player profile that we got leading up to it on the show. So want to make sure that, like everyone else, the ones that we did in that week get featured. So we're going to continue to do that with Addison Wardle today from South Range Softball. Enjoy this interview. Anthony Hartwig here with a South Range softball player profile. We are joined by sophomore Addison Wardle. Addie, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
So here you go. You've been in this program 2 years, and it's back-to-back runs into the state tournament. Talk about first, before we get into your season and your softball journey, just talk about how this feels to be able to start your high school career with back-to-back trips to state.
Yeah, it's amazing, and we have a really young team, so it's really cool, and hopefully we can get there next year and maybe even the year before. It's an amazing opportunity. I am beyond excited for our run. I think we're going to go really well and really deep into each game here now. We have 2 left if we keep winning, and I'm just super excited.
You said it. It's a fairly young roster with just the one senior, Gretchen Bartels, who we've talked to this year before. From your perspective, what's that been like being on a team that there's plenty of experience, but there's also a lot of new faces coming up and making their kind of debut on the varsity level?
Yeah, well, I think it's really cool, and I think it's just we're going to keep running, and I think we are really young, and we have a lot of sophomores that are starting, and I think we're all pretty much have at least a little bit in the varsity. We had 3 swing players last year. It was me, Ashley, and Selena, and we had Anna A, and we had Kira Brogan already at the varsity level. So I think a lot of us already had a bit of the experience.
Now let's talk about your experience last year as someone that came on when needed, and you got your taste of it last year as a freshman. This year, how much did you lean on that experience that you did get last year?
I actually leaned on it a lot, actually. I was a pinch runner a lot, and I didn't really get many innings in, but I just try to look back on that, think, okay, the seniors were a really big help. And just when I was pinch running, especially just as a base runner on the bases, they would help me with just a lot. And yeah, I lean on that experience a lot. I really try to just focus on the new varsity level and the experience and hitting now. I was a flex player at the beginning of the season. Now I'm starting to hit a little bit. So I'm just trying to remember from last year of just watching the pitcher always, just being always ready. And yeah.
What's that been like for you? You start the season, you're in the lineup a little bit, then Coach DeRose moves you to a flex where he's saying, hey, we just need to focus on your great glove on second base. We can't lose you in the field. And now it comes up in the tournament. He sees you in practice. He sees your swings you're doing, and he puts you back in the lineup to hit. What's that been like for you, just doing whatever the team needs? If the team needs you to just go and focus on your defense, that's what you're going to do. If the team needs you in the lineup, then, man, you're just going to go out there and give it the best swings you can.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of whatever Coach Rose or the team needs me, I'm there for. I try to take myself out of it a little bit. I try to perform the best I can, no matter what circumstance I'm in. If I'm just in the field, then I'm going to try to do the best I can. I'm hoping for the ball every play, and I'm just hoping I can make that play and do whatever the team needs me to do.
Let's talk about this regional final because, you spent, like you said, you spent a lot of time with the flex, and now in the tournament run, you get put back into the lineup, and your welcome to the lineup was a matchup with Gabby Gradishar, who's one of the better pitchers in the state. You get a hit off of her. What's going through your mind in this game, preparing for it, being in the right mental state, and then being able to do what you did against Gradishar?
Yeah, I just try to keep my confidence up. I know a lot of my teammates just told me, hey, you're hitting now. It's a tournament play. We're going against Gabby. She's an amazing pitcher, amazing player. And I just thought, okay, confidence. It's anything I can to do to get my bat on this ball. I'm going to try to. Yeah, so whenever I was up to bat, I just thought quick hands, right to the ball. And Mr. Brogan, Kira's dad, it was an amazing, great help. He helped me a little bit the day before, I think it was. We just kind of shortened my swing just to try to get the bat on the ball to just make good contact.
Watching the game develop the way it did, and hearing your dugout and just how they never lost energy through the whole 8 innings and scoreless through 7, from your perspective, what's it like going through a game like that where, both teams are trading punches, both teams are trading really good defensive plays, strikeouts, and you have to grind it out? What was your perspective of going through a game like that?
I just try to keep everybody's heads up, everybody really excited and happy. And no matter what happens, we played a great game. And I think just in the dugout, we were so loud. And I think we were ready to win. We were ready to perform. We all wanted the ball. We all were ready to make plays. And just in the dugout, we were all cheering for all of our teammates. She's an amazing pitcher, so we know it was hard to get a hit. And we just all kind of we're just trying to lift each other up. And I think we were all so excited. We were just just ready.
One more question before we start talking about you in general, but when Giada Pauline's rounding third and coming home, what's that like for you just as a spectator to be able to watch it in the dugout and see it develop the way it did, and then obviously see her score to walk it off?
Yes, it was insane. Giada's a great player, and just to see that happen, and once it got past the right fielder and went to the fence, I was going crazy. I just know how good of a player and how smart she is, and I know Donnie was going to send her, and I just was so happy, and I saw her rounding third, and I was like, she's so fast. She got it, and I was just so happy for her. She's an amazing player. She deserved it all. I was just so happy and excited for her and the team.
Everyone made a beeline to Giada. Not everyone got to her because everyone had to find whoever. Who did you find first? Who was the first person you embraced after the walk-off win?
Yeah, me and Selena have been best friends since as long as I can remember. We kind of just looked at each other and we gave each other a big hug, and we were just so excited and so happy. And it was just kind of an amazing to be that and she said to me after the game, she was like, Addie, we're actually going to play in the state game, because me and her were both sling players last year. We had a great time. It was an amazing experience. And we just kind of have always been there for each other and happy for each other. She had a great game a few games ago, and I was just so happy for her. And just kind of when I got the opportunity to hit, she was just always behind me, always backing me up, making sure I was always confident and always had my head up. And me and her are just so tight. And it was just kind of so fun when we gave Giada a big hug in the pile, and we looked at each other, we gave each other a big hug. And yeah, we were just over with excitement.
Let's talk about how you got to this place and your journey, and when you started softball, when you started to fall in love with the sport, and why you love it so much now.
Yeah, well, I have to give that to my coach, probably Mike Trell and Ron Delisio and Christian Weimer. They are my travel coaches, and they were my travel coaches back in 10U. They kind of developed my love for the game, and they kind of had a nice, easy, play of sort of game. They didn't really push us too hard, and we've had the same team about since we were 10, I don't know, and we just kind of all mesh, and those coaches just made me love the game and just have fun. I just love it now, and they just made me fall in love with it even more.
In this day and age in softball, we see a lot of players, jump travel teams, try to go to maybe a bigger one to get more exposure as they get into the recruiting world. Staying with the same team since 10U and being able to play with the same girls every summer, what's that done for you as a player, as your love for the game? What's that done for you?
It's kind of, honestly, it has developed me. I feel like we all kind of mesh so well, and I'm the pitcher for that team, and I feel like they're always behind me, and I've gotten a lot better pitching just because they've always just been behind me, and I've been able to, maybe if I'm working on a new pitch, I've been able to throw it, and like if they get a hit off it, I know my defense is behind me. And I just think I do sub with a lot of other teams just like to get more reps. I sub like up with some of the older athletics teams, and I feel like that just helps me like get more experience for like maybe college ball or just high school ball in general. But I feel like my team is just, we're pretty good, and we've been good since 10U, and I feel like we just keep trugging along, doing well.
You have a lot of time to make the decision on what you're going to do after high school. You have 2 more years after this to even think about that. But does anything come to mind of things you're interested in, career paths you might be interested in, things you like to learn about that you think might be a path into college?
Yeah, well, I'm hoping to play softball in college, but I think for like major or like whatever I would go into college for, I really like teaching and I love little kids, and special needs has always been something kind of close to my heart. So I might go into something with special needs, maybe for elementary kids or younger kids. I'm not quite sure yet, but teaching is definitely high on my list.
When you think about, things that you'd be looking for in a program, you're in the recruiting process now. People try to lock down where they're going to go by the end of their junior year into that summer before their senior year. What kind of things interest you about a program? Do you want to travel? Do you want to stay close to home? What could a college coach offer you that would make you feel like this could be home?
I think just a good coaching staff. I want to feel like they value me as a player, and I want to value my education as well. So I feel like a good program in whatever I decide to go in, if that's teaching, then a good program for teaching. I want a good softball program. I'm not looking to like, I would like to go D1, but like if I like didn't go D1, I still want like good facilities and everything. And I feel like just kind of like the girls on the team, like I hope if I mesh good with the team, and I would feel like that would be like a good thing to do. And just I would rather stay a little bit closer to home because I'm really close to my family. My grandparents and uncle and aunt both live on both sides of me, and I just have always been really close to my family.
Let's talk about that family. We know that Wardle family reigns strong in the community, not just your brother, who's also on the South Range baseball team, who is also still alive. But, your family owns athletics, and they've been a big help to a lot of athletes in the area. So what's this family like? Give us some inside scoops on the Wardle family and some things that people can peek behind the curtain and see what makes them so special.
Yeah, we're all very caring, in my opinion. My family is very open to everybody. They're always looking, okay, how can we help someone? My dad has always tried to help me and help all my teammates whenever needed. And my family, I feel like, is just they want to help everybody. They don't want, if they see someone struggling with hitting or baseball, whatever, they like want to help them. I feel like that's really helped them in starting athletics. They just like want to help everybody. And I feel like they're such caring people, and just all around, like, I think I have one of the best families ever. They're so kind. Everybody loves each other. It's nothing bad.
What's it been like having Tyler along this journey with you, going through a lot of the same things on the baseball side? I see him at your games when he's able to, when he's not playing too. What's it been like having, a brother that's, in the same, ball and stick sport, going through the same stuff?
Yeah, it's really amazing. And I see like a lot that he went through, and he's actually helped me like a lot with just mental stuff. Like his sophomore year, like I don't know exactly, but I know he just kind of struggled just a little bit, or he told me that he was like ready to go up to varsity, but he just has helped me a lot. He's a really good role model, actually. We don't always get along, but like when we do, it's pretty nice.
Do you guys get pretty competitive with each other though? Like, is there
Yes,
some friendly brother sister competition?
definitely. When like a lot of times hitting, it would just be like, I just remember like in travel ball, like if I, or just like even in like I went down to JV, I think, twice this year, but one time I hit a home run and I had a really good game actually. And I just remember like thinking, how many home runs do you have again?
Do you guys ever have the baseball versus softball argument, like my sport's harder, this?
Actually not really. My opinion, I think softball is harder in general. And we actually don't have that argument a lot, but I feel like it's a good argument to have sometimes. And it's just like a window into like a world of like the baseball side and the softball side. But yeah.
These last couple games for you guys have been with school being out. You know, you're done. School's close to being done. What has that been like, you know, being able to just focus on softball now?
It's like a relief off the back of my shoulder. Love Mr. Hannock, but that biology, that was hard. Yeah, but I'm really glad to be done. I'm really excited for summer. I love all my friends. It's a lot more time to hang out with all my friends, and I feel like it's just so fun. Like a lot of my friends don't do softball, so it's like I have a lot of friends on the team, but like some of my friends don't do softball or I travel with, and it's nice hanging out with them again.
I know your summer's going to be filled with travel softball, but what else? What are some of your other favorite summer activities that you're going to be filling your next couple months with?
Definitely swimming. And I don't have my license yet, but I am 16, so I'm working towards that. So I can't wait to drive. Vacations, just like going places. I don't know. I'm just really excited to like kind of finally get that school off my back and like more free time for myself. I really enjoy swimming. I do like softball a lot, so I'll probably just be doing that for fun too.
You know, you brought up driving. That was the first thing you said. You can't wait to be able to drive. When is that license coming? When do you think you'll be able to get it?
Well, I have one more drive left, but from the softball, since we're going on such a big run, it's kind of hard to schedule those drives because I never know when I practice or when I have a game. So I'm really hoping since Saturday would be our last if we win on Thursday, then maybe right after that I'll schedule a drive and I'll get my license.
You know, your parents might roll your eyes at me for asking this, but what's your dream car? If you could have one car in the world, money wasn't an issue, do you have like that dream car that would be the perfect one to have?
Yeah, actually I do. My dad's a big car guy, and but mine would actually be a Bronco probably or a Jeep. I just like the look of those cars. I mean, sports cars are nice. I do like Teslas and like the sports cars and stuff, but I think a Bronco probably.
Do you have a color? Do you have a color in mind that's like your favorite car color for your Bronco?
Yeah, I am a basic white girl, white.
So you're gonna be driving in a white Bronco. Just try not to run away from the cops in your white Bronco.
Yeah, that would not be good.
You know, people from the 90s will get that reference really quickly. When you think of things that you said vacation spots that are your favorite, what are some vacation spots that you love?
Probably the Bahamas or Mexico. Those are probably my favorite vacations. We were very blessed, and it was like really good times both times when we went to those places. They were so nice. The water was so clear, and it was just amazing.
Is there a place you haven't been yet that you would like to go on vacation?
Maybe like Italy or France, Paris, but I feel like I'm very adventurous and I like to like go do stuff, like have like an amusement park. But so I feel like those would be pretty, but I feel like I would get bored really quick. That's my only issue. But yeah, I really liked Mexico. We went to a resort there and it was like a lot of like adventure stuff, and I feel like I would go there again, but that's not somewhere new. So probably like Paris or something like that.
So Addison needs somewhere to really be engaged. You know, don't take me to a museum. Don't take me to art exhibits. No, I need adventure.
Yes,
definitely. Maybe drop you in the jungles, and that's plenty of adventure for you right there.
Yeah, definitely.
Addison, what we like to do with these player profiles before we end it, we like to give the player the opportunity to take the spotlight off themselves and shine on the people in their lives. So I want to give you the chance to, thank your support system, the people that have always been there for you, and the people that you wouldn't be where you are without.
Yeah, definitely. I would say the Brogan family. Kira Brogan has helped me so much with second base. besides this year, it's the first time I played second. So she's helped me a lot in that because she plays second in travel ball. She's helped me so much just in practice, and her dad, Coach Kevin Brogan, they've helped me so much in hitting. They are great, and same with Selena. She's been a great friend, and her dad also has been such a great help with everything. Jaylee is an amazing role model as a junior pitcher. Like I said, I am a pitcher, and I just look up to her a lot because she's an amazing pitcher. And her mom with Susie Snacks. I love her, Susie Snacks. She's an amazing person. My dad and my mom, they're great. They help me so much with softball, and they just are amazing people. My brother's a role model also, and my grandpa, he's been with me since day one, helping me with anything I need.
Before I forget to, we have a running tally with all of our softball interviews, so we have to get your opinion on these two things. Dugout snack, if you could have one dugout snack for the rest of your career, what would you pick?
Yeah, I was watching some of the interviews, and I saw Anna said the crunchy grapes from Susie's work, but I think I would maybe go, if the watermelon's good, probably watermelon, Susie's watermelon, or Rice Krispies.
I had that watermelon after your regional championship. I've never had a watermelon that's better.
No.
Like at first I was like, some of these Raider players might be a little bit full of it with saying that these fruits are better than any other fruit they've ever tasted. But I'll tell you what, there's something about the watermelon that you guys get that's better than anything else.
Yes. And it's kind of superstition with me and the Rice Krispies. When Susie brings them out, I tend to munch on them a little bit, but yeah.
Now, not packaged Rice Krispies, right? The homemade ones?
No,
the packaged ones.
The
Susie, packaged ones.
I don't know, something about the ones that Susie brings.
All right. Gotta get Susie hooked up for me. Gotta get
Definitely.
me some dugout snacks. I take snacks very seriously. The last thing we want to get your tally on, your opinion on softball icks. We're running a whole series throughout every softball interview we do. What are some of your softball icks?
Definitely neavage. If you don't know what that is, it's the space between your knee and your pant and your sock. So when there's like a sliver of knee in between that, or just like softball pants, either the belt's too tight or the belt's like too loose and it's just like baggy. No. If it's too baggy or if it's too tight, just no. It's no.
Well, with your neavage answer, it has taken the tie with visors over the ears. So we're tied up.
That's bad too. But neavage I think is worse.
So we'll tie up that tally, and we have a couple of more interviews with other teams before the end of state. So we'll see where we're at the end of the season. Addie, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We want to congratulate you on getting a regional championship, getting back to state. We wish you the best of luck these next two games. We hope that you guys are raising a big trophy on Saturday for the whole South Range community, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Okay, thank you.
That was Addison Wardle with South Range. Once again, we're catching up on some player profiles that we weren't able to get on the show before the end of the season. We were definitely able to get them up on the site, and all of them can be found on ysnlive.com and our YouTube. When we're done with that, we're going to be transitioning to some fun guests this summer. Maybe try to get some Class B guys. We're just going to have fun all summer for Running Point, but I do want to make sure that every player that we interviewed does get featured on the show, because you don't want to be like, hey, all these players got featured, but since the season is over, we're not going to feature you on the show anymore. Because there's only so many days with Running Point, right? Especially in that state week when we had to miss a couple days because we had to be down in Akron for state in the afternoon. So I want to make sure that every player that we get interviewed gets a feature on the show. So we'll continue that until we run out of players in the can. We still have a couple left, and then we'll go from there with guests throughout the summer. No show tomorrow. We are going to be off tomorrow on Friday, but we will be back on Monday from 1 to 2. Talk about the whole weekend of Class B baseball, all that fun stuff. Monday's going to be a great show. Don't miss it. We'll be back. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Running Point, as always, brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Go check them out if you're in the need for a new or used vehicle. They go the extra mile for you. We do the same. Thank you so much again for tuning in. We'll see you on Monday 1 to 2.